positive effects for the south. With some fog, I'm working on the timing of that coming up here in less than 10 minutes.
Not a bad drive for those of you heading out to the Boeing Freeway where the traffic volumes are relatively heavy. Just here at 526. Some changes when it comes to the international sailings on the ferries and a road project that is going to slow you down for the weekend. More on that in less than 10 minutes.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Wednesday morning. I'm Tracy Leong.
And I'm Michelle Millman over here at the desk. Tracy's across the studio here. We are practicing social distancing as we continue to track the latest developments in the coronavirus. A lot going on. Thank you for trusting Kairos 7 and waking up with us. The big headlines this morning. The coronavirus has now spread to every state in the country. Look at this map. West Virginia became the last state in the country to report a positive case. Overnight, we learned the U.S. and Canada are close to working to border and suspend non-essential travel. There are now more than 6,000 cases nationwide, 112 deaths reported. Nearly half of those deaths are here in Washington state. Our state is reporting more than 1,000 cases this morning.
Governor Inslee says anything is possible right here in Washington state, including a shelter-in-place order. It's something we've already seen in places like San Francisco. And now the mayor of New York City says he could make a decision to do the same by today. Title 7's Randy Sinha has more on what a shelter-in-place order means and the population who could be targeted first.
And Tracy, the governor has urged people 60 and older to stay away from the general public as the coronavirus spreads, but that's easier said than done, especially for many of those seniors who need to go out to shopping centers like this one to get what they need. The governor has given strong indications several times over the last few weeks that he may have to order an even tighter lockdown in the state to control the viral outbreak. Jay Inslee also signed a $200 million coronavirus relief bill so that can help businesses and the community that is communities hit hard by the outbreak. But the governor is also saying that people need to help each other by staying home and not going out to carriers. That's what prompted the business shutdown.
Going to the bar is fun, been doing it for years, but you might be killing your granddad by going to the bar. And that just should not be acceptable to anybody in the state of Washington.
For weeks, Jay Inslee has been pleading with people to take everyone into consideration as they go about their daily lives and tasks. It's prompted the crowd bans, school closings, and ultimately the business closures. And those business closures have gone into effect today. But we're also seeing businesses like Whole Foods and other supermarkets trying to make allowances for seniors and trying to make sure that they can get in and buy what they need safely. Let's go back to you in the studio.
And Ranji, right there, you kind of referred to it. Because of all this, some of those grocery stores, including Whole Foods behind you, are changing policies to help out the population that really needs to stay inside.
Good.
Yeah, Michelle, Whole Foods and other groceries, what they're doing is they're dedicating an hour, possibly at the beginning of the day, to let seniors come in and do their shopping so that they can do it safely and maybe not be exposed to the general public. And we're going to be out here and we'll have many more details about that coming up in your next half hour.
All right, thank you, Reggie. Yeah, so many stores doing that now. It really is good to see to keep those people safe. All right, it's 5:03, and the governor has signed a $200 million bill. There he is, to help stop the spread of this global pandemic. The money will go to expanding testing, establishing more quarantine sites, and freeing up hospital beds. It also helps businesses sidelined by this pandemic. And we're learning more about the details of the federal government's plan to send every American a $1,000 check to keep the economy running. Kairos 7's Matt Smith is watching the U.S. Capitol's response to this global pandemic. Matt, what do you got?
Michelle, so much is happening. I just want to dig into it, make it a little easier to digest, right? So last week we saw that emergency funding bill from Congress. This is the federal one, different from the state one you just heard about. Now there's an ask for more. The White House Office of Budget and Management requesting $45 billion to stop the pandemic. That's emergency spending on programs that need to be mobilized right now. That will be tossed into a stimulus proposal from the White House. Best estimates right now, this thing would top $1 trillion, according to the latest reporting. What's that include? Tax cuts, small business loans, a bailout for the airlines, and that direct payment to Americans. Now, a lot of people are asking about this. On that front, we don't have a lot of answers yet. The government has not committed to how much money they'd be cutting checks to each American for. But in a meeting on Tuesday, they seem to hint at that $1,000 direct payment to Americans. Now, the president's thinking a lot about coronavirus this morning. 4 tweets in the past 60 minutes about for instance, the shutting down of hotels, bars, and restaurants, money will be soon coming to you. Think of it this way. Sick pay, emergency leave. These are the things that the Senate is going to be paying attention to. It's on their immediate agenda. We will keep an eye on how things move through Congress this week, but obviously right now, everybody top of mind is the ability to pay rent, the ability to buy groceries, those immediate needs that, Michelle, all of us have right now.
Absolutely do. Okay, Matt. Local hospitals are bracing for a surge in patients and a shortage of medical supplies. You've been hearing about this. Yesterday, Washington State received thousands of respirators and surgical masks. There are reports some workers have been making their own while caring for sick patients. Vice President Mike Pence is urging construction companies to donate masks to hospitals. And our Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal is also calling on the U.S. Navy to deploy hospital ships to help patients who don't have the virus to free up valuable hospital beds.
Testing is ramping up around Western Washington. Many hospitals are starting to offer drive-through testing. One of those hospitals is Kaiser Permanente. Today, many of their clinics will close to in-person visits. They're moving to virtual treatment. We've mapped out 4 locations that are now focusing on testing for coronavirus. That includes Linwood, Renton, Puyallup, and Victoria. Now, this is a live look at that site in Linwood. The hospital says they hope 3 more test sites open up by tomorrow, and not everyone can get tested. Anyone without a doctor's referral will get turned away. And new details on a test site in Burien we told you about yesterday morning. Around this time, tents were up in the CVS parking lot, but we saw contractors starting to take them down hours later. Contractors will only say that the size of the tents had to be reevaluated.
Overnight, Power 7 learned 2 people are now staying inside this quarantine site in Kent. The county bought the Econo Lodge in Kent earlier this month. It since bought 2 more hotels in Issaquah and 1 in Bellevue. Last week, a homeless person staying inside this hotel escaped, prompting backlash from the city of Kent.
It's easier to find parking in some of Seattle's busiest neighborhoods now that bars and restaurants are closed. Terry 7's Rob News is live where there's new support for those struggling businesses.
Yeah, Tracy, this restaurant Lupo is one of those that actually has one of these new signs here in Fremont. You can see it right here. Food pickup priority. They're hoping to let people know not only is it open for business, but here is where you can roll through while it's still having that social distancing despite the shutdown proclamation. Now, the city has unveiled these food pickup priority signs at least 11 restaurants so far and expects to add more as these small businesses become aware of the program. Ever since the governor's declaration earlier this week that restaurants and bars should shut down except for takeout, we've seen creative ideas to help them out. Now, Canlis converted it into a burger bagel delivery, which has so far stopped traffic with the amount of people coming through. This pickup priority is hoping to recreate that with other locations and restaurants. Now, we're told restaurants can request these with Seattle DOT along their guidelines that they have for these, but it may not keep everyone in the business employed, but this is certainly going to be a help for some of the people who are feeling and they may be put out of business. Here are some other ideas that may be able to help you out. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Robin. Tracy, we know these will be needed because we've seen a lot of other places with very long lines.
I don't know if you saw Rungy's tweets yesterday, but the long lines that you saw at Canlis, it was unbelievable for drivers that were just trying to get a burger yesterday. And we saw some pretty significant lineups coming northbound 99, not only as people were standing in line, but also kind of trying to get in line when it came to car drive-through service. So something that we're going to watch very closely, and we're on our Power 7 real-time traffic map. If you are going to be traveling right around, I'd say breakfast time, roughly around 6:30, maybe even later into the lunch hour, around 11:30 or so, we're going to see those delays northbound 99 getting out towards Canlis. Okay, so right now, a little bit of hesitation for drivers on South 95 as we get closer to the Boeing Freeway. Not a huge lineup getting out to the plant. But there are changes when it comes to our ferries. Yesterday, WashDOT tweeted out that delayed start to the sailing service, international sailing service to Sydney, BC, until April 28th. We have a lot of road traffic this morning. More on that in less than 10 minutes. But Nick, my eyes are so itchy right now.
I know, yeah. The pollen yesterday, tree pollen was in the moderate category, at least that today, and moderate to high. It was high the day before. So if you're like us and you're suffering from some of the allergies, yeah, it's good times. 25 at Olympia to 27 in Bremerton. Now, we are seeing a little bit of fog developing. We've had it in Shelton, now about a half a mile visibility. Might see a little develop in Tacoma. I had one viewer tweet us saying that they found some in Tacoma, so we'll keep an eye on that. 26 out toward the McCord side of JBLM, and then 30 for Graham, Puyallup, and Lake Tapps. But here's the upside. Look at that. Sunshine. A lot of it, too. Almost 60, say 57 in Seattle. Well, in fact, everybody really in King County right around there. Tacoma, 56. Lakewood to Parkland, 58. Even Puyallup to South Hill and Auburn, about 58. You should be right in the low to mid-50s from Everett through Edmonds, Stanwood into Arlington and Granite Falls into Snohomish. Bellingham and Port Angeles, low 50s, and Anacortes to Langley. Mount Vernon should hit about 56. And say Shelton, Olympia, Centralia. I think here you see a few more clouds, especially the first part of the day. Second part of the day, some sun and near 60. Tomorrow's the last day of spring, first day of winter. Return there just before 9 p.m. Almost 60, just, mainly sunny skies, a few high clouds. Mostly sunny on the first day of full spring on Friday. This weekend, partly sunny. And then Sunday night and Monday, we could see an isolated chance for a shower or two. They give a better shot Monday and Tuesday, and not a super washout. So if you're an allergy sufferer, it will stick around.
All right, thank you, Nick. It's just about 5:11 from a worldwide pandemic to the U.S. primary. How coronavirus may have played a role in last night's election results.
Plus, we know this is a stressful time for a lot of you, and we're talking to a mental health expert about how to manage anxiety.
Together we will conquer this tough time we're going through.
We will.
A big pledge from those two. You know who they are, Russell Wilson and his wife Sierra, what they just promised to the city of Seattle. It is 5:11. We'll be right back.
Through the window, I seen a pile of dogs.
A canine encounter.
She was shaking and afraid.
This outcome
This was the most exciting thing that happened.
was different.
Oh, the puppies are adorable. Want to see a picture of the puppies?
Sure.
Oh, they did turn out cute.
Next, Judge Judy.
Today, 3 to 5 on Cairo 7.
The wait is over. Try my new Tiny Tacos. 15 for $3 or loaded for $4. Delivered exclusively with Uber Eats.
We switched.
We switched.
I switched to Chevy for my family. I switched for more room. We switched
Why do we switch?
for adventure. For this.
See why people are switching to Chevy.
I'm never switching back.
Qualified lessees can lease this Equinox LT for around $239 a month. See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
Everyone loves a win. Like getting the best Wi-Fi experience with wall-to-wall coverage? There's a win. Plus, added protection for your connected devices. That's a win-win. Put it together with Xfinity Mobile, the most reliable wireless network. Talk about a winning combo. Get Xfinity Internet and Xfinity Mobile for just $30 each a month. You'll save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. Plus, get $300 off when you buy a new Galaxy S20 Ultra. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Click, call, or visit a store today.
This weekend only, Aquarex gigantic anniversary sale. The biggest hot-tub sale in Aquarex 44-year history. Save thousands with free sanitation system or free stereo on select models. Don't wait. This is the biggest hot-tub sale in Aquarex with 6 locations.
Research shows only 14% of drivers plan to go off-road. But that doesn't mean the Honda CR-V can't handle a few unexpected bumps. After all, we don't know how extreme you plan to get. The Honda CR-V, with available real-time all-wheel drive with intelligent control system. Visit your Honda dealer today to get a great deal on the CR-V.
The wait is over. Try my new Tiny Tacos. 15 for $3 or loaded for $4. Delivered exclusively with Uber Eats.
Cairo 7 News is brought to you by the Dubin Law Group.
It is 5:14. No tourists, no entertainment, no buffets. The Las Vegas Strip is essentially shut down. The governor in Nevada is shutting down non-essential businesses now. Table games and slot machines had to be shut down 5 hours ago. That's leading to an eerie feeling. Even before everything was shut down to the streets were empty. According to the governor, the businesses shutting down will do so for 30 days. Cairo 7's Matt Smith is tracking more fallout here. And Matt, cities are changing really. This is coming in minute by minute.
Yeah, you see those posts online about Pike's Place and how empty it is. Do you think that's eerie? Well, think about Vegas. I was supposed to be there in 3 days with my friends. We started talking about how it was getting weird. MGM was laying people off. We had to cancel our trip. I was going to fly out tomorrow. But this is just not the way Las Vegas typically looks. This is one of the biggest times of the year. March Madness, it gets a lot of sports bettors out there. Lots of money being pumped into the economy. Now, they're not even playing the games. They're definitely not betting. Everything's shut down. How about this one? Midway, the airport in Chicago, not named O'Hare. They're working at reduced capacity. They had to shut down their air traffic control tower after multiple people there got coronavirus that work inside that building. And they do have backups, but it's cut what they can do there. In fact, imagine if you're traveling and this is what you see. On your screen right there, every single flight canceled at one point in time. One person trying to get out of Midway tweeting this out. They're open again this morning, but again, limited flights using backup air traffic control. And we learned Tuesday that 4 more NBA players tested positive. That includes superstar Kevin Durant. So as a result, the last team they played, the LA Lakers, they all now have to get tested today. Tracy, this thing has ripple effects.
Yes, a lot of uncertainty there right now. All right, thank you, Matthew. Amazon is making more room for toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and other high-demand items. Yesterday, it told third-party sellers to stop shipping items like jeans and phone cases that aren't essential to its warehouses. The new restrictions last until April 5th, and it shouldn't affect what you buy or sell on the site. The company is warning customers that deliveries may take longer than usual. Amazon plans to hire 100,000 workers at delivery centers and warehouses to keep up with this new demand.
McMiniman has announced it will lay off 3,000 people at nearly all of its hotels and brew pubs in Washington and Oregon. The company operates 24 hotels along with over 60 bars and restaurants, including locations in Tacoma and Bothell. They are closed because of the outbreak. It made the move in order to allow workers to file for unemployment during this crisis. And more retailers are closing up shop. Last night, all stores at the Bellevue Collection, and this includes Bellevue Square, closed until April 2nd. All Goodwill stores in Western Washington are also closing. It comes after Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, and Macy's announced store closures.
The coronavirus pandemic is causing a lot of uncertainty, and that's taking a toll on people's mental health. We spoke to an expert for advice on how to cope during this time.
We can't control what's happening. We can't control whether our job is going to be there tomorrow or what this is going to look like even in a month. But it's good to focus on the things that you can control, right? So this is keeping your daily routine, waking up, not, oversleeping, keeping up with your exercise, doing things that you normally would do throughout the day.
Besides keeping your routine, try something new. Learn to sew or play an instrument. There are a lot of tutorials online right now that are free. Also, limit your media consumption. And if you do use social media, use it to connect to others. And of course, get outside and exercise. That's very helpful during this time.
Yeah, it's nice that we have some decent weather right now for that. Okay, check out your screen here. Simply Seattle is putting part of its sales of this new t-shirt towards helping local organizations. The Stay Strong Seattle mantra has been going around lately with city leaders and even Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll echoing in. This shirt is $7.99 and $1 from every purchase sale goes to helping Seattle.
Russell Wilson and his wife Sierra are stepping up to help people in need by making a very large donation.
Hey guys, Russell and Sierra.
Hey guys.
And obviously this worldwide pandemic, coronavirus, is changing the world. And so what we've decided to do is partner up with a local food bank in Seattle, Seattle Food Lifeline, and we're going to donate 1 million meals.
The two made this promise on Twitter yesterday. The meals are going to Seattle Food Lifeline. They're also encouraging everyone to help by making donations of their own. Last week we told you how the virus was causing a major shortage at local food banks, and some places told us food and money donations dropped by 50%.
It is just about 5:20. It is so great to see the community coming together and people like Sierra and Russell stepping up there.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Instead of just thinking about hoarding and getting as much stuff as you can, they're just trying to donate.
People are hurting.
Others,
Yeah.
which I do love. All right, so if we're looking at the overall picture, your storm tracker scale ranges from 0 to 5. We're going to stay at 0. The most you have to deal with is just, of course, warmer temperatures, a lot of sunshine, but a little bit of fog this morning. We have some of that developing in Shelton, some near Tacoma. High clouds will be in the mix for a few places today and tomorrow, but outside of that, we're looking at sun. I mentioned some fog. Visibility for Bremerton, Seattle, Olympia, all at 10 miles, which is as good as it gets. But you're at 0.5 in Shelton, which means half a mile visibility. So you could find a little freezing fog for a few places. Tacoma's at 6 mile visibility, so there could be just a little bit of fog out there as well. The wind direction shifted a bit, so we have more of that ocean air in the mix. So it's frostier this morning. We have some fog for a few places, but we are in the 20s and 30s, so it's chilly just for Seattle, at least at 36, not quite as cold as it was this time yesterday. Mainly clear skies. Just want to show you a weak system south of us. I mean, it's not weak for the folks in Northern California, but we're looking at just some of that moisture rotating back. So if anything, we'll see a few clouds the farther south you are. In fact, look for this. 5:20 until 7, 7 o'clock until lunchtime to the south. See a little bit more cloud cover? Yeah, it's Tacoma, Olympia, Chehalis, and then noon till the end of the day, most of that should clear out. So I don't expect much today except sunshine. And, you know, temperatures pushing 60. 57 in Seattle, 57 in Olympia, 58 in Chehalis. Next 7 days with your weekend always in view. Tomorrow's the last day of winter, first day of spring. We turn there tomorrow night just before 9, and we could be around 60. Not at 9, but 60 for a higher. So same thing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a little cooler. And then our best chance for rain, Tracy Taylor, looks like it'd be Monday and Tuesday, but even then, not that good of a chance.
Nick, that's terrible for LNG sufferers. Okay, I just got word from the Washington State Ferries. The Puyallup is about 15 minutes behind on the Seattle Bainbridge Island ferry run this morning. No estimated reason why. They're just running 15 minutes late. Your drive looks great. Northbound I-5 leaving Highway 16 past the Puyallup River Bridge. Just kind of clicking through some of the cameras this morning. I don't see much when it comes to delays getting out of Federal Way. Yesterday, we touched briefly on what Sound Transit and King County Metro Bus are doing to keep the buses and transit clean for riders if you are going to grab the bus. Drivers coming off the trestle look great getting up to the I-5 merge. However, if you are going to be driving through Sultan today, starting at 9 o'clock this morning, there's going to be some delays between Sultan and Skykomish. They're going to do some inspections at this Sultan River Bridge. Download the KIRO 7 News app to stay up to date on real-time traffic conditions as you head out the door.
It is 5:22. Former New England Patriots quarterback is once again shocking the sports world. Today, Tom Brady is expected to sign a brand new deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Our Nick Allard guessed that one. Very smart, Nick. NFL Network reports his contract will be worth $30 million a year. How long the deal is, though, still unclear. He announced he was leaving the Patriots yesterday. We brought that to you. It's breaking news right here. And KIRO 7 continues to follow the latest developments in the coronavirus emergency. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you how long the virus can live on surfaces, answers from a new study, and what it means for prevention.
And stepping up during uncertain times, how one customer